Hello everyone, this is Grace. It is October the 29th, 2023, and we are going to be taking a look. We're going to be doing a quick read through for Samson. And we're not going to be looking at everything, just mostly we're going to be looking at the Nazarite Vow portions of the study. So let's go ahead and let's get started. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight again, because whenever they would do bad, the Lord would send them someone to help save them. And so he's going to send them Samson in here. I haven't read through all of this, so we're going to... Never mind. Let's just go on. And the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord delivered them into the hand of the Philistines. I'm not sure which one it is. Philistines, 40 years. And there was a certain man of Zorah, of the family of Danites, whose name was Manoah, and his wife was barren and bare not. And the angels of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her, Behold now, thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Now therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any unclean thing. I am not 100% certain if this did happen right here. I'm not 100%. It probably didn't, since it didn't really happen to anyone else. Well, hold on. I don't know if I can't recall if it happened to anyone else. It didn't happen to Mary. I know that. Abraham's wife was told she was going to bear a son. They didn't tell her this. But, you know, I myself tested out some grape juice to see if it had wine in it. So, so when they say beware, they're telling her to be careful. And it's only because of this word beware that I can't say for certain that it was not told to her. Because if they weren't supposed to be drinking wine, then, I mean, who's to say she wouldn't just taste the grape juice to see if it had wine in it? So we'll just say that this is okay. Just understand that this is not told to all of the mothers that are told that they are going to become mothers. They're not told this. Now therefore, beware, I pray, and drink not wine nor strong drink, and eat not any other unclean thing. They know this. They know this. They know these things. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son. See, the reason why they put this in here is what I'm thinking. Is because they want to support this lie. That's why I think it was needful to put this in here. Don't drink wine or strong drink. This is alcohol. Don't eat any unclean thing. They just added that on to try and hide this. They didn't care about this. But this... They know you're not supposed to do this, but you're not supposed to do this either. So in order to support this lie, which I think it is, I just don't know because of this word beware. I just don't know. I can't be 100% certain. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and no razor shall come on his head. For the child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver Israel out of the hand of the Philistine. Now, you are going to want to see the videos that I did on the Nazarite, because I'm going to make reference to them, that you understand what the vow is and what it entails. That's throughout this video. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of God, hold on. Wait a second. I wanted to point. And no razor shall come upon his head. No, she wasn't told any of this. The child shall be a Nazarite unto God from the womb. The Nazarite is a vow which you make unto God to serve God. If you're a Nazarite unto God from the womb, then what's the point? What really is the point? It's not a vow. It just isn't. Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of God came unto me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of God, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name. None of that stuff was necessary. But he said unto me, Behold, thou shalt conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing. For the child shall be a Nazarite to God from the womb to the day of his death. He did not say that, did he? Shall be a Nazarite of God from the womb. If he said that, he's lying. Because he cut his hair. That signified the end of the vow. Unless he made another vow, which is not written in the Bible. I can tell you that right now. He doesn't make another vow. He doesn't make any vow whatsoever. Then Manoah entreated the Lord and said, O my Lord, let the man of God, which thou didst send, come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the Lord that shall be born, what we shall do unto the child that shall be born. And God hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of God came again unto the woman as she sat in the field, but Manoah, her husband, was not with her. And the woman made haste and ran and shewed her husband and said unto him, Behold, the man has... Well, she didn't say anything to the angel about, may I go get my husband? That's so rude. And the woman made haste. What? The woman carried and told her... Why do they keep saying woman? Hold on. Appeared unto the woman. Why do they keep saying woman? And there was a certain man named Zora, and a family of the name Manoah, and the wife was barren and bare not. Do they not give her name? One that said, Behold now, there are barren. What? I read in breaks normally. Sorry, you guys. I don't know if they tell her name. Okay, well, I haven't come across her name yet. Maybe it's in here. I just don't. Maybe I missed it. Okay, let's go on. But Manoah, her husband, was not with her. And the woman made haste and ran and shewed her husband, and said unto him, Behold, the man hath appeared unto me, that came unto me the other day. That's very strange. I wonder if it's because this chapter is used to interpret so many different things. I wonder if that's why they never gave her name, because maybe she's a figure of the church. And Manoah arose and went after his wife, and came to the man and said unto him, Art thou the man that spakest unto the woman? Okay, and he said, I am. It has to be because it's a picture of the church. And Manoah arose and went after his wife, and came to the man and said unto him, Art thou the man that spaketh unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, Now let thy words come to pass. How shall we order the child, and how shall we do unto him? Now, I don't believe for a moment that this happened. This is just strange. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. He didn't say that. He did not say that. Now I'm changing my mind, because I don't believe that the angel of the Lord addressed her as the woman. So this has to be the work of our enemy, God's enemy, not our enemy. Well, he's our enemy too, but this has to be the work of the enemy of God. Because the angel didn't say, of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware. No. She may not eat of anything that cometh of the vine. He didn't tell her that. Neither let her drink wine or strong drink. This is alcoholic wine. Nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. And the angel of the Lord said unto Manoah, Though thou detain me, I will not eat of thy bread. And if thou wilt offer a burnt offering, thou must offer it unto the Lord. for Manoah knew not that he was an angel of the Lord. Did he say anything about offering? Let me read this again. Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, I pray thee, let us detain thee until we shall have made ready a kid for thee. It's unclear. And Manoah said unto the angel of the Lord, what is thy name, that when thy sayings come to pass, we may do thee honor? And the angel of the Lord said, why did you say that? But okay. And the angel of the Lord said unto him, why askest thou thus after my name, seeing it is a secret? Is this words of an angel? This is a big secret. So Manoah took a kid with, I wish I would have read through this carefully before. So Manoah took the kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock unto the Lord. And the angel did wondrously, and Manoah and his wife looked on. I don't know what that means. For it came to pass, when the flame went up toward heaven from off the altar, that the angel of the Lord ascended in the flame of the altar, and Manoah and his wife looked on it and fell on their faces to the ground. Now, did they just bow down to this angel that told them it was not the Lord? But the angel of the Lord did no more appear to Manoah and to his wife. This just sounds like it's pretty much all made up, to be honest with you. I don't know that, but just come on. Then Manoah knew that he was an angel of the Lord. He didn't know before then? I'm so glad I skipped all of this before, and I don't really want to finish it, but we'll read on into the 14th chapter. I didn't read any of this. I read the part I needed and then went to the crux of the situation. But the angel of the Lord did no more appear. Okay. And Manoah said unto his wife, we shall surely die because we have seen God. What? He just said he wasn't God. I'm not reading any more of this. We're going to chapter 14. Y'all can see it right here. I don't need it for the Nazarite vow, and I just won't. Okay. But his wife said unto him, if the Lord were pleased to kill us, he would have and received a burnt offering and a meat offering at our hands. Neither would we have shewn us all these things, neither would he have shewn us all these things, nor would as at this time have told us such thing as these. And the woman bare a son and called his name Samson. And the child, this is true. You can tell right here. This part is true. And the woman bare a son and called his name Samson. And the child grew, and the Lord blessed him. I'm glad it came out to be true because I hadn't read it before. I could just tell by the rhythm of the words. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp. And the Spirit of the Lord began to move him at times in the camp of Dan, between Zorah and Eshtaol. I should have read the whole sentence before I said that, to be honest. I want to skip down. I really do. My markings are gone. I got the wrong markup folder. And Samson went down to Timnah and saw a woman in Timnah of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman of Timnah of the daughters of the Philistine. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Okay, so let's talk about Samson for a moment here. I'm just going to mark this here for myself, but not in red. Mark it in yellow. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I had seen a video a while ago. I'm going to see if I can find that video and then post it. But it was talking about how Samson was an image of, was kind of a Christ-like image. And I loved that take on it. Now, in his video, he was talking about how Samson did, he was actually talking about this right here. He was talking about how Samson came and took a Philistine daughter. He wanted a Philistine daughter for a wife. But Philistine is not one of the countries that they could not marry. They just couldn't. The woman just had to be of their faith. So this was not really against the law for Samson to do. It wasn't. She wasn't of one of the countries that they could not marry in, but she had to be of the faith. Now, of course, even if she professed to be Israelite, which it doesn't say she did, but we have to assume that she did because the parents arranged it without fight. They said, and the father and the mother said unto him, is there never a woman amongst the daughters of thy brethren, or amongst my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, get her for me, for she pleases me well. I suppose that could be interpreted that I suppose it could be because it says she's uncircumcised. You could say that I wouldn't fight too hard to say that she had not accepted the word of God, except you see Samson fighting against all of these customs throughout the Bible. Samson would have grown up with the Philistines side by side with him. He knew them. Those were his friends. We're going to look at his wedding. He's going to have 30 Philistines come to his wedding. Those are the people that he knew and he grew up with and associated with. They knew the laws of God. It's not far-fetched to believe that she knew the laws of God and that she accepted God as her Savior. However, it would have been surface. We know that because she betrayed Samson instead of going to him and looking to him as a husband and a protector. So it would have been a surface level if she did accept Jesus as her Savior. But at the same time, you do have cause here to say that she possibly didn't. It's just not definite. And I believe she did. I don't believe he broke the law here. I don't believe that he broke anything other than a bunch of customs. I think he fought against a lot of customs, just as Jesus did. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord that he sought an occasion against the Philistines. For at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. Then, and seeing that it was of the Lord, why would he have to send him a Philistine wife in order to give him occasion to fight against the Philistines? Again, she could have easily have accepted God, but it was surface, of course. Then went Samson down and his father and his mother to Timnah, and came to the vineyards of Timnah, and behold, a young lion roared against him. So Samson, here he is, he's supposed to be a Ninevite, and if you recall, the Nazarite Vow requires that you do not eat grapes or from the grapevine, anything from the grapevine. But here he is walking through the vineyards. Of course he's eating the grapes. Let's just be real. They took that out. He walked specifically through the vineyards so that he could eat the grapes. And behold, a young lion roared against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down and talked with the woman. So it wasn't the first time something like this had happened. I'm thinking if he didn't tell his mother and his father, or either he didn't want to scare him. It doesn't say why he didn't tell them. Maybe he was amazed. I guess it doesn't really say. It could have been the first time, but I think I would have rushed to tell somebody. And he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. And after a time he returned to take her, and turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. Now we know that you could not eat unclean foods, right? However, the honey's not unclean. I don't think honey's unclean either. I don't know. I should have checked. I'm sorry. But anyway, he got the honey out of the lion, and took thereof in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and gave them, and they did eat, but he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. Why? Because he knew that they would go back to those old customs about don't eat or touch any unclean thing, don't have anything to do with this, or you're going to be unclean. All lies, all customs, none of which was true. I did not read the unclean. We might have to do a reading of some verses on unclean, so you guys can see for yourself just what those things, just how preposterous some of those criteria are. But he didn't tell them. He's rebelling against this tradition, just like Jesus did. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so the young men do. This feast right here is of wine. That specifically, there's a different word for feast used in Leviticus 23. This one is telling you that it consisted of drink. So he was drinking. Feast, drink, banquet. Drink, by implication, drinking. Do you see? They weren't drinking water. They're doing everything they can to show you that he was not a Nazarite. He's walking through the vineyard. He's eating those grapes. That's why he's walking through there. He's taking he's touching the carcass of he killed an animal. He ate honey from the animal. And it came to pass when they saw, but it said a dead body of a man. But that's okay, we're going to get to that. Not a dead body of an animal. And it came to pass when they saw him that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If you can certainly declare it within the 7 days of the feast and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 changes of garment. But if you cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 changes of garments. And they said unto him, put forth thy riddle. We're not going to read all this, though. It's just taking too much time. So anyway, we will read this part, though, when we get to the Passover. Or maybe in the Last Supper. I can't remember which one. Anyway, so his wife, Samson's wife, wept before him and said, Thou dost but hate me and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it to my father or my mother. And shall I tell it thee? But she tells her, and then she tells the people. She tells the Philistines. And the men come back and they solve the riddle, okay? And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him. But I went through it. If you want to read it, you can pause the tape and read it. So, and the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, If ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. So now the Nazarites are not supposed to touch a dead body, but here he's just killed 30 men. But he's a Nazarite. Is there literally he is broken. Okay. He's not supposed to have anything to do with the vine. And he just had a feast of wine, and he's walking through vineyards. And he's eating those berries. I don't care. You're not going to convince me otherwise. So the only thing he has, he's killed a dead body. He's touched a dead body. The only thing he hasn't done is cut his hair, right? All right, well, let's continue. Let's see if we can get this wrapped up in 10 minutes. We're at 24 minutes. But it came to pass within a while, in the time of wheat harvest, that Samson visited his wife with a kid, and he said, I will go in to my wife into the chamber. But her father would not suffice him to go in. And her father said, I verily thought that thou hast utterly hated her. Therefore I gave her to thy companion. Is not the younger sister fairer than she? Take her, I pray thee, instead of her. And Samson said concerning them, now shall I be more blameless than the Philistines, though I do them a displeasure. And Samson went and caught 300 foxes, and took firebrands, and turned tail to tail, and put a firebrand in the midst between the two tails. And when he had set the brands on fire, he let them go in the standing corn of the Philistine. So he tied fire to a couple of foxes, tied them together with the fire, and let them go into their harvest and burn up their harvest. Then the Philistine said, who has done this? And they answered Samson, the son-in-law of the Timnite, because he had taken his wife and given her to his companion. And the Philistines came up and burnt her and her father with fire. And Samson said, now he's madder than before. They were trying to give him justice, and he's madder than before. And Samson said unto them, though ye have done this, yet will I be avenged of you, and after that I will cease. And he smote them hip and thigh with a great slaughter, and he went down and dwelt in the top of the rock Etam. Then the Philistines went up and pitched in Judah, and spread themselves in Leah. And the men of Judah said, why are ye come up against us? And they answered, to bind Samson are we come up, to do to him as he has done to us. Then 3,000 men of Judah went to the top of the rock Etam. 3,000 men went up to him, and said to Samson, knowest thou not that the Philistines are rulers over us? What is this that thou hast done unto us? And he said unto them, as they did unto me, so have I done unto them. And they said unto him, we are come now down to bind thee, that we may deliver thee into the hand of the Philistines. And Samson said unto them, swear unto me that you will not fall upon me yourselves. And they spake unto him, saying, no, but we will bind thee fast and deliver thee into their hands, but surely we will not kill thee. And so he went with them. And when he came into Leah, the Philistines shouted against him, and the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and the cords that were upon his arms became as flax that was burnt with fire, and his bands loosed from off his hands like nothing. And he found a new jawbone of an ass, and put forth his hand, and took it, and slew 1,000 men. More dead bodies he's touching. So I don't want to read all of this. I just want to look at the Nazarite stuff. So anyway, he kills all of those men, and he thinks he's going to die of thirst, and the Lord gives him water. He calls upon the Lord, and he acknowledges that the Lord did this great work through him. And he said, after you did this great work with me, am I now going to die of thirst? And he says, and he found some water. Okay. So then, Delilah. So we need to read through this. And then went Samson to Gaza, and saw there an harlot, and went in unto her. And it was told the Gazites, saying, Samson is come hither. And they compassed him in, and laid wait for him all night in the gate of the city, and were quiet all the night, saying in the morning, when it is day, we shall kill him. And Samson lay till midnight, and arose at midnight, and took the doors of the gate of the city, and the two posts, and went away with them, bar and all. He just picked up the entire gate of the city. And the bars that held the gates up, that were plunged deep into the ground, just picked it up on his shoulder, walked away, and left with it. And it came to pass afterwards that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah. And the Lord of the Philistines came up unto her, and said unto her, entice him, and see wherein his great strength lieth, and by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him. And we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver. And Delilah said to Samson, tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth, and wherewith thou mightest be bound to afflict thee. Let this be a lesson to every man. Delilah is going to betray him twice, and he's still going to tell her his secret. Yeah. You're weak with the women you love. You just are. And that's why you will betray your own self. You betray your own self. You're going to betray your God. You just are. Well, those aren't my words. Those are the Bible. The Bible says you are going to do it. Solomon did it. Solomon did it. Especially in old age, you become weak. That's something that I personally have noticed as well. And Samson said unto her, if thou bind me with seven green, hold on, my screen is probably not right. Let me start over. Samson said unto her, if thou bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak, and be as another man, and be as other men. I want to look that up. Withs. I don't know what. Oh, it's just a rope, a small rope, a hanging tree. Okay. Then the lords of the Philistine brought up to her 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men lying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber. And she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake the withs as a thread of tow is broken when it touches the fire. So his strength was not known. And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou bind me fast with new ropes that never were occupied, then shall I be weak. And so the same thing happened. She tricked him. She tried to trap him, and it didn't succeed. And Delilah said unto Samson, hitherto thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Tell me wherewith thou mightest be bound. And he said unto her, if thou weavest the 7 locks, of my head with the web, and she fastened it with a pin. Again, that's the 3rd time. And she said unto him, how canst thou say, I love thee, when thine heart is not with me? Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and hast not told me wherein thy great strength lieth. And it came to pass, when she pressed him daily with her words, and urged him, so that his soul was vexed to death, that he told her. He told the person who had set him up 3 prior times. But he couldn't just walk away. Just couldn't walk away. Then he told her all his heart, and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. Lies, lies, and more lies. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. Let's just think logically here. Let's think logically. How could he know this? Is strength some sort of thing that's given to all Nazarites, that he could say, my strength is in my hair because I'm a Nazarite? How could he know that his strength is in his hair unless he cut his hair? Did an angel of God come down and they forget to put that in the book? The only way he could know that his great strength was rooted to his hair is if he had cut his hair in his youth and he had lost his strength. That's the only possible way he could have known. So he cut his hair. There was no renewal of vow. There was no renewal of vow here. He's been going against these customs throughout this entire story. And here he says, I've been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. Lies. There has not come a razor upon mine head. Well, how does he know that his strength is tied to his hair if he has never cut his hair? Where is the promise from God for exceeding strength? Of all this extra, where is the promise for God for super strength if you don't cut your hair? No, it's just made up. He's not a Nazarite. This strength had nothing to do with being a Nazarite, because being a Nazarite has nothing to do with God. It is literally opposing. It's you separating yourself from God. That's the symbolism that's presented. Okay, I think that was the primary scripture that I wanted to go over. And we're at 35 minutes. So let me just say, the picture of Jesus finishes out. Well, let's finish this portion so you guys can see what happened. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, "Come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart." Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. And she made him sleep upon her knees, and she called for him in, and she caused him to shave off the 7 locks of his head, and she began to afflict him. And his strength went from him. And she said, "The Philistines be upon thee, Samson." And he awoke out of his sleep and said, "I will go out as at other times before, and shake myself." And he wist not that the Lord was departed from him. But the Philistine took him and put out his eyes and brought him down to Gaza and bound him with fetters of brass. And he did grind in the prison house. Howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. So his hair began to grow again. So he's going to start to get his strength back. And the picture of Jesus, if you go back and you read through this, is rounded out by him giving his life for his people, similar to how Jesus gave his life for his people. And you can freeze the screen. I'm just going to go through it really quickly for you so you can see it. But there you go. But I love that picture of Samson being a picture of Jesus, so I wanted to share it with you. I don't remember the video. I think I might have written it down. So if I find it, I will post it. I thought the guy was really great video. Of course, he believed that Samson was a Nazarite and that he did not eat the grapes and stuff like that. But that absolutely is incorrect. He absolutely was not a Nazarite. He may or may, well, he ate those grapes. That's why he was walking through the vineyard. And he did it more than once. I think I skipped over it the second time. But he did it more than once. Anyway, we will close out there. And I will talk with you in the next video.